Hello everyone. Today let's solve the Leetcode problem number 20, valid parenthesis, right? So what the question says is, given a string S containing just the characters these braces, right? Opening and closing braces, corresponding closing braces. Determine if the input string is valid. An input string is valid if open brackets must be closed by the same type of brackets, nothing but the corresponding braces, right? Open brackets must be closed in the correct order, and every closed bracket has a corresponding open bracket of the same type. So let's see the example. In the example 1, this one, so we have the opening this one braces and the same corresponding braces is there, right? Common braces we are making use of. Opening braces is same, and it is having its corresponding closing bracket. So we are returning the output true. In the second example, we can see we are having the common braces and its corresponding closing bracket, and this one square bracket and its corresponding closing bracket, and flower bracket and its corresponding closing bracket. So we are returning true. In this case, we are having the common bracket, but here we can see the rectangular bracket, right? So we are returning false here. So let's see. I'll just consider this example. So what we can do initially, we can save the set of braces by making use of map.set, right? So we can save these braces first. Then what we can do, so here, just give me a second. So suppose initially if we have pushed this brace, right? So the closing braces has to be this one. So if we are not pushing the closing braces, corresponding closing brace, then we can return false in this case. So that's what we are doing here. So first here in this example, we are pushing this one. So the next brace is this one, its corresponding brace, right? So we are popping out this one. Second one, we are pushing this one, this brace to the stack, rectangular bracket to the stack. Then next we are having its corresponding closing bracket. So we are popping this one. Next we are having the opening flower bracket, and next we are having its corresponding closing bracket, right? So we are deleting this one or popping this one from the stack. So finally what we'll do, we'll check whether the length of the stack is 0 or not. In this case, the length of the stack is now 0, right? If the length of the stack is 0, then we will be returning true. That's what we will be doing. So let's continue with the by writing the So initially what I'll do, I'll just create the map to store the pair of matching brackets as I have said. Like in my case, I'll just give let map equals new maps. Then I'll just make use of map.set. This character as well as its corresponding bracket, closing bracket. So I'll just copy the same thing and make the corresponding changes. Make the necessary changes. So I'll just change the braces, this one to rectangular bracket, closing rectangular bracket. The last one to flower bracket and the corresponding closing flower bracket. Right? This is fine. Next step, what we'll do, we'll initialize an empty stack to keep track of the expected closing bracket. So for this one, we have to close this bracket itself. For this one, for the rectangular bracket, we have to close the corresponding rectangular bracket. And for the flower bracket, we have to close the corresponding flower bracket. So what I'll do, I'll initialize an empty stack to keep track of the expected closing bracket. I'll just give let stack equals Next, let's iterate through the each character in the string. How we can do that? I'll just make use of the for loop for let a equals 0, a less than length of s, right? I have the parameter s, and finally incrementing I. Next, if the character is an opening bracket, we have to push the corresponding closing bracket onto the stack. We are making use of stack, right? So if the character is an opening bracket, this one, for example, we have to push the corresponding closing bracket onto the stack. How can we do that? I'll just make use of the if condition. If map.has iterated value of s particular brace, then I'll just make use of stack.push of map.get of iterated value of yes. This is fine. Next, what I'll do, if the character is a closing bracket, check if it matches with the top of the stack. Nothing but if we are having this closing braces at the top of the stack, we'll be checking whether we are having this closing braces. So if it is if the equivalent this one is found, if the closing braces this closing brace is found, and if the equivalent opening braces is found, then we will delete that one, as I have showed in the by taking the example. Same thing goes with this bracket and this bracket. If the corresponding closing bracket is found, and if this closing braces is found, and if its corresponding open braces is found, we will be deleting that one or popping that one from the stack, right? So how can we do that? Stack dot pop not equal to s of I. If it is not equal to s of I, then we will just return false, right? In this case, it has to be equal. Then finally, if it is equal, we will be removing the each pair, right? Then the length of the stack has to be empty, as I had showed in the example. So we'll just check whether the length of the stack is empty or not. Let me format this code. I'll just hit the submit. So this works, right? The code is correct. So what's the time complexity and the space complexity? The time complexity would be big of when? Big of n. Why the time complexity is big of n? We are iterating, sorry, just give me a second. Yeah, we are iterating through the string only once, performing constant time operation for each character. This one you can see here, right? The space complexity would be big of n as well. Why the space complexity is big of n? In the worst case, the stack can hold all the opening brackets leading to the linear space usage. This one, first one, right? In the worst case, the stack can hold all the opening brackets leading to the linear space usage. So the time complexity and the space complexity would be big of n. I just come here. The time complexity would be big of n, and the space complexity would be big of n as well. Let me comment this one. Yeah, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.